Insiders, we need some good news, and I am happy to bring you that. Today, Catherine, Princess of Wales, used her platform, her voice, and her position in society in the best possible way. She is speaking about an area that many people ignore: addiction. It's something that affects up to or over 23 million people within the UK. Now, obviously, the way the data is collected for this very area, it makes it impossible to truly understand how many people are suffering. But the fact that Princess Catherine has spoken out on this, and this is nothing new for her. She has long been an advocate for mental health and for speaking up about addiction. And I truly think this is one of her bravest moves yet. And as someone who has personally and within my family been affected by this, I salute you, Catherine, Princess of Wales, because for too long, too many people in the public eye have avoided speaking about this very area. And you'll often see celebrities like Elton John or Robert Downey Jr. promote these areas because they have direct experience with it. But the fact that Catherine, Princess of Wales, is using her profile to speak about this is incredible. So I want to show you what she has done. But before then, let's just take a little reminder about how some of the royal family have used philanthropy and charity in the wrong way. You will remember that Beatrice was, or is rather, an ambassador for the Born charity. This charity focuses on premature children or premature babies. And when Beatrice was able to do one piece of press in March earlier this year, she chose, drumroll, Vogue. Oh, yes, that very expensive magazine that has about 3 pages in and is only read by very rich people, elites. And Princess Beatrice evidently was not doing the charity work for the right reasons, because the very people or the very women that tend to, on the whole, be affected by premature birth, as the data shows, are Black women and Asian women. And so Princess Beatrice decided to go to a very affluent magazine where the core demographic is rather elite white women. So she didn't really get the memo. And then we see all of the press pick up on her personal story. So we see that she is really using charity work to enhance her image, I would argue. But Catherine, as the patron for the Forward Trust, has used her platform to really do amazing work, because she has emphasized that addiction is not a choice and it is a mental health condition that requires understanding and compassion and not stigma. And this is huge. These are very awkward conversations that many people shy away from. And Prince William and King Charles have both featured on cover historically of the big issue and worked with the big issue. So the family are very committed to this area, because obviously addiction and homelessness goes hand in hand all too often. So Catherine urged people to reach out and open conversations with loved ones as a vital first step towards healing. In a message released today via the Forward Trust, Catherine underscored that addiction can happen to anyone, no matter their age, gender, race, or nationality. And her advocacy for this, it carries real weight, because it is the globe's attention on this matter, a matter that is all too frequently spoken about behind closed doors, because people are scared to talk about it in public. And there's also a lot of shame that addiction carries. And she has given people that are struggling with addiction dignity, and she has made them human again. And she talks about how recovery is hard, but with the right treatment, it is possible. It starts with a conversation and showing we care. And so we are now in Addiction Awareness Week. And so if anyone is struggling with addiction within their family and has been personally touched by the work that Catherine, Princess of Wales, has done, I urge you to do seek more information and help online, because this is for me, this is some of the best work Catherine has done. And I know that the mental health work she's done in early years is amazing. But as someone that's personally been affected by this, it made me feel seen. And I'm so grateful to Catherine for using her voice to talk about this. So we have as well an image where Catherine, Princess of Wales, has posted it on Twitter. And there's some amazing comments underneath. She said, proud to be a patron of the Forward Trust this Addiction Awareness Week. Addiction is not a choice. And that is so true. And again, so misunderstood by so many. She said, it's not a personal failing, but a complex mental health condition that should be met with empathy and support. This is a life of service. This is what we're seeing from our future queen. And I just think, yet again, she is showing us exactly why we will be in a safe pair of hands at the right time when Catherine and Prince William take to the throne. And this is not a self-serving PR move. You know, talking about addiction and aligning your name to it is not a glossy PR door that will open for Vogue, like we've seen Princess Beatrice. And it's not a part of society that where you're tapping into that holds a lot of weight. You know, there are millions and millions of people struggling, millions of families that have been torn apart by addiction. And Catherine, yet again, is showing bravery in her own way, in class and style. And she is making, for me, she's reminding me of Princess Diana, because we saw Princess Diana would frequently go near areas that many would run from, and she would face them head on and talk about them and bring them right into the center of public consciousness. And I believe this is what Catherine is doing here. And we see The Guardian, they say Princess of Wales calls for end to stigma around addiction. Forward Trust patron says compassion and love are needed to end fear and shame felt by those affected. And I want to read you a piece as well that is now online. And this is from the BBC, who have said in the headline, Catherine calls for end to stigma around addiction. Well, let's give them 1 point, even though they're a propaganda channel that constantly get everything wrong, because at least they've got her first name right this time. And the piece says, the Princess of Wales has called for an end to the stigma surrounding addiction and urged people to offer empathy and support to those dependent on alcohol, drugs, or gambling. Catherine, who sent the message to mark Addiction Awareness Week, said significant progress has been made to better understand addiction, but warned more needs to be done. The Princess is the patron of the Forward Trust, a charity that tries to break the cycle of addiction and is behind the campaign running from the 23rd to the 30th of November. Catherine, who has also campaigned on mental health issues, draws parallels between the two conditions in her message. She says addiction was not a choice or a personal failing, but a complex mental health condition that should be met with empathy and support. She added, but still, even now in 2025, people's experience of addiction is shaped by fear, shame, and judgment. This needs to change. The stigma surrounding those who face addiction allows it to thrive behind closed doors, impacting families and communities and ultimately ruining lives. The princess said that many people will know someone who is struggling with addiction. Now is the moment to show our compassion and love to help them, or their friends and family, to reach out to organisations like the Forward Trust for support. Recovery is hard, but with the right treatment, it is possible. And this begins with a conversation, a listening ear, and showing we care. This is just wonderful. And insiders, I always believe in being totally transparent. I myself have been sober from alcohol in July next year for 7 years. And I have also lost family members to addiction. This is something that is incredibly personal to me. And as someone whose life has been severely impacted by addiction, I I can see the integrity with this charity work from Catherine, Princess of Wales. There is nothing grifty about this. This is something she genuinely cares about. And you can tell, and I'm sure anyone who has been affected by addiction can tell that by reading her comments, this isn't a quote that's been drafted by someone else. This is someone that has a deep understanding of the evil that addiction can cause and the impact on people's lives all around the world. And so, insiders, please do support this work. I know you will, that Catherine, Princess of Wales, is doing. And addiction is a conversation that I really believe we need to continue to talk about. And so, thank you for joining me for this mini video. And I am so pleased to be able to bring some good news to the channel because we need it to kick the week off. But I cannot praise Catherine, Prince of Wales, enough on this very issue that, again, is constantly distorted, manipulated, and misrepresented in the public eye. It's an area no one ever wants to go near. I have never worked with a celebrity that has actually done charity work in this area. It's a brave move, it's a bold move, and she has royally got my stamp of approval. So thank you very much, insiders. And if you liked the video, please comment, like, and subscribe.